Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Shaquille Thompson moves to 13 wins with 9 KOs, no defeats, no draws. He stops River Wilson Bent in 3 rounds. He scores a total of 4 knockdowns. This was on top of the headliner on the GBM card that was on DAZN. River Wilson Bent came in with 17 wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws. He'd previously lost over 10 to Ryan Kelly. That was a decision. He got stopped in 8 by Ammo Williams. That was in April of last year. Hamza Shearer did him in 2 rounds before that. Tyler Denny won a split decision over him. That was a good win. Good win for Denny. I think they also had a technical draw somewhere along the line as well. But the point is that whenever he stepped up, River Wilson Bent, as game as he is, and he's a game fella, he's found lacking. And he's been I think he's a Midlands area champ. He's the type of guy who might pick up an English title. Don't think he's quite British level though. Depends how he's matched. But he was certainly more or less being fed to Shaquille Thompson for Thompson to look good. Now, Thompson is 3 years younger than River Wilson Bent. These are middleweights, by the way, I should point that out. And Thompson is a tall, rangy middleweight. He's about 6'3", southpaw. And clearly he's got, some decent power. He loads up with his punches way too much and doesn't jab enough. And that's very frustrating to watch from a bloke who's got, the dimensions, the natural assets. I don't think he really uses them enough. Now, like I say, that the jab was lacking throughout this fight. Power was there, no doubt about it. But River Wilson Bent is the type of fighter, if you put him on the back foot and you put him under pressure, he goes into his shell. And the most you'll get out of him from there on in is don't hurt me punches. That's not to say he lacks courage. On the contrary, he showed a lot of guts in this fight. But Thompson did what a few others have done to River Wilson Bent, and that is impose himself physically on him. And, put him in his shell and then just basically beat him up and stop him. If you let River sort of do some boxing, if you don't put the pressure on him, River can he's quite a neat little boxer. He can box his way, pinch rounds and score some. He's got a few decent wins on his record. Like I say, he was a Midlands area champ. But there's also a draw with, I think, S.A. Smith, who I think he's still undefeated. I think he's a Midland. He's some sort of champ, some sort of area champ as well now. But that draw was earlier this year. That wasn't a bad result. But if you put him under pressure, he does tend to sort of unravel a bit. And that's what we saw with this fight. Because by the second round, although Thompson was, again, really loading up and looking for the big wallops, there ain't a lot of subtlety to what he does, or at least not in this fight anyway. River ended up, but in the second round, he had a bloody nose. So clearly, there was something was happening. It wasn't the referee that was hitting him. And then right at the end of the second round, Shaquille threw a backhand, which would be a left, which clipped River badly, and he was in the corner, and he sort of flopped, almost like the bones had been pulled out of his body. And then there was another big left backhand again that put River heavily down on the mat, right by the ropes, near the corner, and he managed to get up. Unfortunately for him, it was the end of the round. Now, in the third round, Shaquille picked up where he'd left off, again looking for big punches. Not enough jabs going in, not enough body work either coming in. I don't know why fighters insist on neglecting the body. It's such an obvious target, and it's money in the bank. And this was a 10-rounder. Every time you got a 10-rounder or a 12-rounder, why the hell aren't you banging to the body? Well, River, at this point, again, not really running, on the back foot for obvious reasons. But Shaquille moved in, and the backhand comes over, and Wilson Bent's on the floor again. Gets up, game guy. He's got, you know, blood coming out of his nose. Referee says, off you go. Again, you know, it's weird because he landed a few pretty decent punches against Shaquille, but Thompson didn't really feel them. I mean, Thompson was pushing Wilson Bent onto the ropes, and there was a nice little left hook from Wilson Bent that clipped Thompson. And this is it with Thompson. This is what's so frustrating about Thompson. He's a tall guy for the weight, but he doesn't jab enough, and he comes right in the front door, looking to sort of be physically imposing, looking to put pressure on you, looking to, you know, bang heavily with both hands. There's no sort of touching and then boom. You know, there's no variation of work. It's all very physical. What do I mean by that? It's all based on power. There's not a lot of finesse there. There's not a lot of nuance. It's all brute strength and power. And against Wilson Bent, who is not really the most durable of middleweights, although he is courageous, that's going to work. But if he wants to move up to British level, European level, you know, maybe pick up the Commonwealth belt, whatever, and eventually go on to world level, he's going to have to show more. He's going to have to show more variety, more imagination, and just use those physical assets that he's got. Use them. Do you know what I mean? Well, anyway, there was a third knockdown. I think it's weird because I thought that was a bit of a slip. I mean, admittedly, Wilson Bent was all over the place, but I think Shaquille put him over with a right hand. I know he varied. There was one of the knockdowns was a variation of the others. He got up and he was game. I mean, he wanted to carry on. Wilson Bent did, and the referee just said, "No, that's your lot." So 3 knockdowns in the third round. That's all she wrote. And Shaquille Thompson moves on, and that's fine. At the moment, he's a good domestic level fighter. But he's got a couple of these, you know, belts. I don't know what they are. WBO, IBF, European belt. One of them is something called the Global Belt. Isn't that a world title? I thought a Global Belt was a world title, but apparently not. WBO Global Belt. I don't know what the fuck that is. And by the way, the IBF European belt is worthless as well. There's only one European title that's worth anything, and that's the EBU title. The IBF thing might get you a ranking, but come on, it's not a real European title. But they can be used as springboards to, you know, bigger opportunities, I suppose. So he was there in the post-fight, all strapped up, you know, with Izzy Azif, the promoter, standing next to him. Good luck to the guy. You know. Be interesting to see how far he can go. But if you've got any comments about this fight, you watched it, leave it below. It's on DAZN. Leave all your comments below and I'll have a read. And please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, do all that good stuff. It's all free and you're helping the channel out. And I'll have a read and see what I think and reply to as many comments as I can. Thank you very much for watching this video. I always appreciate your time. Much, much appreciated indeed. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.